Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. Happy Saturday. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm having a gloriously lazy day today, which is fairly standard for me on the weekends. I think we're going to maybe go do a little wine tasting tonight. And so I actually did take a shower. So I thought I would just sit down and talk to you about my new Kindle Oasis. I've been testing it out for a while, and I feel like I have a good sense of what I like and don't like about it at this point, and so I can talk about it. The Oasis is my third Kindle. I had a original Kindle, gosh, many years ago that my sister bought for me that had, a keyboard with buttons down at the bottom, and it had buttons on either side, and it was what, like the 7-inch size. And I actually loved that Kindle. It eventually died on me, and it didn't have backlighting. So when the Paperwhite came out, I was very excited because I really love to read my Kindle in bed. That's primarily where I read it. I love to turn out the lights and cuddle up with my blankets and my cats and my producer Greg and just lay in bed in the dark and read. That's my primary reading spot, is in bed at night. And I like to do that on my Paperwhite because it's got the backlight, you can adjust it. It's really nice. I loved the Paperwhite. But what I didn't love about it was the swiping to turn the pages, which I know sounds like very fussy. But I had really liked the buttons on the first generation Kindle that I had, where you just press it to turn the pages. So when I started seeing the Oasis, I got excited because it has page turn buttons. And that was the one thing about my Paperwhite that I really did not like, is the swiping to turn the pages. I know it sounds ridiculous to even say it out loud, but just go with me on this. So I'd been wanting to try the Oasis for a while, but my Paperwhite's been absolutely fine. It is a few years old now, so it's not the most current one. But it's, gosh, I can't even remember, probably 3 years old. And it's been fine. It's great. It's not bad at all. But I wanted the Oasis. Lesson number 1, newer is not necessarily better. Keep that in the back of my head, which I know, but I did learn that lesson this time. So I had my 1-year BookTube anniversary on February 27th, and I thought to celebrate, I would buy myself an Oasis, which I did. And I've got it right here. And look at this green cover. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I love the cover on this. I actually did not buy a cover with it because I thought, I didn't think I'd want a cover. I like the lightweightness of the Oasis without the cover. But I ended up buying a cover because I can't hold this comfortably without a cover. The way that I hold my Oasis is like this. And I did the same thing with my Paperwhite. And the Oasis on its own is just it's not that comfortable to hold, just like this, without kind of propping it between my fingers like this, for whatever reason. So I did end up buying a cover for it, and I love the cover. I mean, it's adorable. It's green, and it gives me a ton of pleasure. So let's get into some of the details of the Oasis. I'm going to start with the things about it that I don't like. Number 1, and this is totally my own fault, is I accidentally bought the version with the ads on it. Now, I don't know if you can see this. The ads are actually all book ads. This is a newspaper ad, so it's not that bad. It's just the home screen. They don't flash up any other places. But I bought it at the Amazon store, and nobody said, "Oh, do you want one with ads or without ads?" And I knew they had ads, but I just kind of forgot to ask them about it. And I'm bummed that somebody didn't say, do you want the one without ads? Because that would have been the one that I had bought. But now that I have this, it doesn't bother me. It's just, it's just a home screen. I did like on my Paperwhite, though, which I have here, that I had the book cover of the book I was reading on my home screen. That was kind of nice to open up the Kindle and see the cover of the book I was reading. So the first thing about this that I just don't really care for is when you open it, and even when you wake it up, if you don't have a cover on it and you just press the button at the top to wake it up, you have to swipe the screen to wake it up. So you open it, it opens up. There you go. There's my new ad. That's not too bad. But you have to swipe to wake it up, which I know all of these things are going to sound really fuss-potty. But you have to swipe to wake it up. And it's another step. I don't like it. It annoys me. You see, it just says swipe to unlock Kindle. So you swipe it and it opens. It's fine. But it's just kind of annoying. Secondly, I don't care for the fat side. I think it was supposed to make it easier to hold. And the fat side here is about the same width, I think, as the old Paperwhite. So they've maybe just skinnied out some of it. They probably just had to keep some of the works in here. But the fat side does not help me hold it. Doesn't help me hold it. Doesn't make it any more comfortable to read. I still need to kind of use the cover to hold it comfortably. So the size is not great for me. And secondly, I don't like the placement of the buttons. When I'm reading, my finger is kind of here, and the button to turn the page is right here. And it's a tiny little button. On my first generation Kindle, it was a big sort of flat button on the side that you could easily just keep your finger on and then press it to turn the page. These little tiny buttons are not correctly placed for me, and they're just not very comfortable. So I end up doing this. I hold it like this, which is just, it's not comfortable. So the whole point of having buttons to turn the pages was really not great. Now, what's kind of cool is that it only has buttons on one side. And if you flip over, you do this, and it flips the version. So you just then hold it this way with your other hand. So it's kind of cool. It flips it upside down, depending on how you're holding it, which is kind of neat, but not really useful. Honestly, I would rather just have a Kindle just like this with just some flat buttons on the side, on either side. One here, one here, one here, one here. So ultimately, that's sort of where I'm heading with this, is that if this just had some flat buttons on the side, it would be perfect. This is my little Paperwhite. So I'm not crazy about the buttons placement. It's all right, but it's not great. I also don't really care for the ability to turn off the swipe screen. So I'm constantly accidentally swiping because there's no barrier between the screen and the panel. It's perfectly flat, which is fine, but I'm always accidentally kind of turning the pages. So I thought that I would deactivate the screen, which you can do, but you have to do it every time you open the book. You have to go up into the settings and deactivate the screen. There's probably a way you can set that permanently, but I don't like that because I like to be able to turn the page button on and off down here. I like to be able to, change the settings here with the little drop down. And so deactivating the screen deactivates the whole screen, not just sort of the ability to swipe. So I'm constantly accidentally turning the pages by swiping anyway. So it sort of defeats the purpose of having buttons on the side because I'm still find myself swiping. So that part about it's not great. Let's see what else. made some notes. Oh, lastly is the battery life on this. It's not great. I bought it, I started using it on February 27th, and I read probably 2 hours a night on it, and I had to charge it today. It was down to 8%. And that was the third time in 3 weeks that I've had to charge it. So I've been pretty much charging it weekly. That's about 14 hours a week reading on it that I do. So that means after about 14 hours, I have to charge this, which actually sounds pretty good, but on my Paperwhite, I can literally go for a month without having to charge this. So the charging on my Paperwhite is much better than the charging on the battery on the Oasis. So while the Oasis, if this had been my first one, I'd probably be perfectly happy with it. I feel like for the price and for what I wanted to get out of it, it doesn't really offer me anything different or better than my old Kindle Paperwhite. Now, I'm not mad about having two. Greg can read on one, I can read on one, and so I'll use them both. It's fine, and I do love this green cover. It makes me very happy. But really, for the price, for the things I wanted out of it, doesn't provide any extra value to the regular Paperwhite. I'm not sure if there are features on here that just I'm not using that make it valuable for some other people. I think it's waterproof. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care. So probably some of the features that this offers are just not really not valuable to me. So overall, the Oasis kind of gets a thumbs down. I've been reading on it. It's fine. And I still have my old Paperwhite, which I will also keep using. But overall, it's a no for me. So I hope this helped you if you're interested in an Oasis. If you want a Kindle, get the Paperwhite. It's perfect. You can get them for fairly inexpensive. And they're great. It's a great little device. I think that the Paperwhite definitely gets my thumbs up. Now, if they would just do little buttons on the sides for page turning, it would be my dream device. All right. I am going to sign off for now. I will see you next time. Bye.